everybody. Thanks so much for your patience, and I appreciate it. I've already gotten a lot of comments in here today, which has been amazing. So sorry, so sorry for the confusion on YouTube. So if you actually go back and refresh this video, I did fix that link. So big shout out and thank you so much, Haley and TB, for letting me know beforehand. I had enough time, I think, to fix it like right in the nick of time. And it does look like I think Crowdcast is also going to be working today. So thank you so much. So why don't we just get started real quickly, and in the comments, I'd love to know what you took away from yesterday. So if you didn't join us live yesterday, as people are sharing that, I just want to give a quick recap of kind of the stuff that we went over. And I invite you to go to YouTube to watch the recording of episode 1. So basically episode 1, we talked a little bit about what it is that we're going to be building. We talked a little bit about what does the analysis process look like, touched very, very quickly on what it would look like to design something. So what we decided to do is we're going to be creating a video that is going to help advocate for deaf employees and basically share some best tips and practices in order to advocate for them and make sure that they have the reasonable accommodations and things they need to be successful in the workplace, which is, I think, really, really important given COVID-19, given kind of all the crazy stuff going on. So we did that. And then the other thing that we talked about was, making sure that when you get an assignment like this, so let's say you're looking for your first instructional design job, maybe you want to try to subcontract, maybe get some freelance experience under your belt, whatever that looks like. Don't just take it at face value. So please, please, please ask questions. Ask what is the problem that you're trying to solve. Really dive a little bit deeper into that. And if you can remember, I had these 2 book recommendations of Kathy Moore's Map It and Dr. Michael Allen's Leaving Addie for Sam. So again, I actually physically own these books. They're good. So a lot of people ask, what are some good books to get me started? I love having that. So enough about me pontificating. I want to just go ahead and bring in a couple of the stuff that I saw you all say. So Melissa says, it was great to hear just my story and process of projects in my own portfolio. Thank you. Full disclosure, I probably could use a portfolio refresh this year. So when I get that thing called spare time, maybe I will do that. Haley says just about, what to put into portfolio and resources as the topics. And thank you for the curtain shout out. They are from IKEA and I love cats. So I just needed to have them. All right. Hoping to make an asset and intro video for your portfolio with this knowledge. Awesome. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And then TB said, yes, dig deeper, ask questions. Okay. You all are not short order cooks. You are the protectors and defenders for those end users. Because a lot of times we are the mediator. If you think about it, we have the keys to the kingdom. We have this really neat perspective of the business where we can see kind of what management wants, but then also advocate for users. So I highly recommend, again, fighting for that right. I feel like a Twisted Sister song, but okay. Enough about that. We have a lot to do today. We're going to be in Camtasia for most of today, but I just wanted to give folks some time to get in, get settled. And if you haven't already, again, if you're on Crowdcast, look underneath me and hit the button for the resources. If you're on YouTube, hit the description link to get access to the resources. And I'm just going to walk through the zip that I put together. And then I'm also going to actually get rid of everything and rebuild it here live and walk you through it. Okay. So, I will answer that question real quick, Laura. So Laura's wanting to know what I'm using to live stream. I'm using a tool called StreamYard, and I asked people that stream a lot like what they use, and this overwhelmingly was the top one. So yesterday was the very first time that I had used it. Luckily, I had Nick with me. Nick unfortunately can't be here today, so I am flying solo. So please, 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 just be patient with me because I'm trying to track this, trying to track the Crowdcast, trying to also watch YouTube. So yes, Crowdcast is on a 20-second delay. And Gwen, your question about does it matter? No. So I have tried to stream on occasion since, gosh, 2017. That sounds crazy, but the platform I am most comfortable with is Crowdcast. And the reason that I'm doing it this way is because my Crowdcast only has 250 slots open for people to see, and that was gone in like a day as soon as I said I was doing this. So I wanted to also have this on YouTube as well. So that's why I'm doing it a little bit different. And yeah, I know, yeah, Katie, I have I have 6 screens currently, and then I'm trying to monitor all at once. So again, please just be patient with me, and I'll try to get your questions answered as quickly as I can. So without further ado, let's hop right to it. So I'm going to go ahead and add this in, and I'm actually still going to be here, but I am going to get my face, get it to go away there, so that way we can see this a little bit better. And then I'm also checking over on Crowdcast just to make sure everybody is on there. Looks like everybody is rocking and rolling. All right. And TB, I am a horrible multitasker. So, I'm trying my best. Okay. So just again, as a quick reminder, if you want to get access to this, click the button below the video in Crowdcast and also the video description on YouTube. It did come up yesterday that that link that we used yesterday will also get you here. So I make kind of a table of contents, for lack of a better word. And so what we're going to be accessing is I made this quick little starter project for us. And if you haven't had a chance to see it, I think that'll probably be the first thing that we do. I'm just going to preview it for you, and let me make sure. I'm going to hit play, and you all let me know if you can hear it. So when it starts, I'll be looking over here, and just let me know if you can hear it. Okay. So one moment. I'll pause. Did you all hear that? Maybe it took you back to your childhood, or it scared you like it did me when I was a child. I thought there was something wrong with the TV first time I watched Peanuts and heard that. I really thought there was something wrong with the TV. No, you didn't hear it. Okay, good to know. So let me try one more thing. I want to stop. I want to share audio. Okay, hang tight just one second. Again, appreciate your all's patience here. Okay, I got it. All right, so let me reshare again. Going to make sure I tick the little box this time. I feel like that should just be automatic by now, right? Okay. Here we go. All right, now we're going to try this one more time. So again, if you didn't get to see it, here is the thing that I put together to get us started. And then I'm actually going to delete all of it and rebuild it step by step with you just to make sure everyone has at least the same baseline to start with Camtasia. Okay, here we go. All right. So a little bit dramatic, right? Just maybe a smidge, but I wanted to send a message that, this is really kind of scary stuff, right? I mean, just imagine you getting paid to do a job and you trying to do the best that you can, but then you're not getting basic information like in a meeting or something, right? So I wanted to kind of set the tone by building this out. So you do see some other assets over here. And if you go to the resources, I think I named it very generically extra assets that I brought in. So let me just go ahead and just kick off and give you kind of a tour of, and this is in Camtasia 2020 is what I'm using right here. So basically Camtasia runs on a track system, meaning that you can lay multiple you can layer different information on different tracks. And the nice thing is you can actually name these. Now, typically when I'm building, I'm not this organized, and And again, I'm still not super organized, but I wanted to pretend I was organized for you all. So you can see a little bit here. So on this bottom track, I have the video clip, and the video clip, if you go back up here, again, Untitled Design, which I'll explain why it's named that here in a minute. And then I was able to bring in the audio track. And then if you remember, as it was kind of crescendoing up, if you will, while it was going here, what I ended up doing was I took a snippet of this track and then layered it on top to where when there were multiple people speaking, it was giving kind of that vibe that people were talking all at the same time. And then basically I made this. This is actually a feature in Camtasia 2020 called a frame. I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute, that you can actually add this to any video clip, and you can do it as a laptop, an iPhone, a tablet, just old school desktop, whatever. And I did a colorization treatment to that because again, I wanted to kind of convey this feeling and emotion behind it, that it was, really kind of difficult for the person to, deal with it. And then this is kind of the personification, if you will, or the thought process of the deaf employee who is struggling to, again, get the information that they need working from home. So that was kind of the thought choice of this. I chose black, maybe not the best color, maybe like a gray or something, but that's kind of what I chose. And then, it starts kind of small here, and then it keeps going. I made it bigger because again, I'm trying to grow kind of this feeling of frustration or angst, right, with kind of everything going on. And then we hit it right here with the, well, maybe I should just quit. So the thought bubble's completely gone. It's completely engulfed in the whole screen there. So can I zoom into the track area? I don't know if I can on this or not. So I do, depending, that's a good question. Actually, let me pop this out here. Of course, you're not gonna pop on me, are you? Okay. Um, give me 1 second. I know there's a way to pop out the track. I don't use it often, as you all can tell here. But zooming in, you can do it this way, which is super helpful, especially when you're cutting things, to make it a little bit bigger down there. But I'm trying to remember on the fly how to. Feel like I can cut this out, or maybe that's just a storyline feature. So good question. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. Don't be afraid. I'm basically going to rebuild this for you all so you can see it. Okay. Again, I just want to make sure this is probably going to be, if you've ever used Camtasia, this is probably going to be things you probably already know, but I know that a lot of folks that are here, and also I just want to give you all a number across both platforms. We are about 140 people live right now, which is awesome. So I just want to give everyone a baseline to start with, okay? So after we go through this, again, maybe we'll get to it today, but definitely the next episode, which will be next Saturday, we're going to just be building, 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 building. And the nice thing is, I mean, if you are more advanced or if you already have a baseline, you can, again, you might already have this downloaded and you're just playing with it, doing all kinds of stuff, right? So again, just a reminder, if you build something and share it, tag me in it. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see kind of what happens with it. And of course, tag the wonderful folks at TechSmith who are also sponsoring this stream. So, okay, it's all gone. Okay. So first thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and I want to bring this down. So I should have named it, but a pro tip that I will tell you is I actually get a lot of video assets from Canva. So Canva has a lot of great video assets, and this is one that I downloaded from Canva, and that's where I got this from. So if you maybe don't have a subscription to like Adobe Stock or something like that, I find Canva's got a lot of great stuff, and it's really, really just done a fantastic job of giving me a good variety. All right, let me Quetzal, we'll call you out here, which is not a bad thing. So Quetzal's asking about the text in the bubbles for accessibility. So that's a great question. So we could, Quetzal, instead of the bubbles, we could make those captions that pop up for accessibility. Because you're right, it's not that accessible whenever you have text on an image like that. So maybe we'll do a little design trick there, Quetzal. So you always keep me on my toes, Quetzal. I like that you hang around. It's good. All right. Amanda says Canva. Yeah, I never thought about it for video clips. Yes, I know that was probably one of the pleasant surprises of last year is that they really upped their video clip game, and I get a ton of my clips for all my videos from Canva. That's actually one of my first places that I go. So highly, highly, highly recommend. Jennifer's asking if they have a free or premium. I actually have both. I'm one of those weirdos with like multiple email addresses, but I think that the one that I actually used for this, I think was probably a premium account, but looks like Haley is dropping the nuggets here. If you're a teacher, you can get a free pro account. So just putting that out there. So thank you, Haley, for sharing that as well. So, and I think Samia also shared that as well. So you all are amazing. So get that free pro account and take full advantage of these wonderful clips that they have. Now, I will also say that TechSmith has an excellent asset library. I was hoping to be able to show it to you all today, but with the holidays, with people being on the office, etc., I can't, but hang on because I will be showing it in the next session, as well as showing you how I use Snagit to also make my own assets. So, all right, so we got this right here, and it starts playing. It did not come with audio. Some of the clips do come with audio, but I will say for the most part, most video clips on Canva do not have audio on them. The ones that I've seen usually have just like maybe some peppy music or something like that with it. Very rarely will you get something with kind of ambient noise or whatever. So when I was thinking about this, I was like, ugh, I do not want to record my own voiceover. That is not my favorite thing to do. And I was like, well, what can I do to have some kind of an ambience here and kind of, again, tell this story that I'm wanting to tell? So immediately I think of the Charlie Brown wah, 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 wah. Okay. So I got this clip actually, this was a roundabout way of getting it, but I ended up getting it from YouTube. So sometimes people on YouTube will post things and say that you can use them. It's worth a look, but the link that gave this to me, I did also have a sheet that I track all my assets as I'm building stuff as well, because you just never know when a link's going to die or something's going to change on an asset, or further down the road, if you need to push a project off for somebody, at least you're giving them a baseline of where things came from. So I have an example of that in the resources. Again, just something really simple. I have the name of the asset and then where it came from. I think that that's really, really important to have as you're growing and doing stuff. And again, just thinking, I'm putting my hiring manager hat on here. If I see a project on someone's portfolio, plus they have like a nice little asset tracker to show where they got things from and name, that's a gold mine. Like that again shows me extra care to detail, and I just think it's really great to potentially do that. Okay. Um, no, I'm not. J-Rock. No. So, long story there. I'm not a big trombone fan. We'll just put it that way. So, all right. All right, moving on. So, let's just go ahead and try this out and see what this looks like. Okay, so as you can see, they keep going, right? Because the clip is longer than the audio. So I'm going to show you what I plan on doing with that, but I'm seeing pings here. So Jenene is asking about how you give reference for the resources. And I think there's a lot of different ways to do it, right? So one would be at the end of the experience having like a credits page. If you're embedding it like in Storyline or Captivate, maybe you could have like a credits page on the player of that to explain like where you got things at. Or you could put a tiny little link or credit underneath the video. So like, for example, here, if I wanted to, I'm going to go over here to annotations. And then this is the text, and if I wanted to, could do something like this. Again, it's pretty honking big, right? So we're gonna scoot it down a little bit. Come on. I don't know why it's not doing that. There we go. Let's just do it old school here. There we go. Oh, that's really small. You could do something like this. Let's try 24. And see what got everything scooting around here. Okay. And so as you do that, see it pops on the timeline kind of where this thing is. So you need to be very careful when you're adding stuff like that in Camtasia because sometimes it will put it where you don't want it to go. So one thing that I would do if we're going to do this, just to show you an example, and this is good for me to show anyway. So let's say I had it something like this, credit Canva. But again, it's kind of hard to read. Someone changed the font color to, I don't know, let's see, just see what black looks like. Still not the best. Just pick a different color here. About like a, I don't know. I'm just going to go with that. I know that is definitely not the best, but just again to show you where it is. And then I am going to do this. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to, I'm just putting it here just to show you. I'm going to make it the same length as the video clip. And then what I'm going to do is I'm holding down my control button and I'm selecting both of those. And then I'm right clicking and I'm grouping them. Oh yes, I can dismiss. Good call out, thank you. So I'm going to redo that since the comment was, okay. So I took this and I made sure it was the same length as this video right here. And then I'm holding down control on both and then I'm going to group them. So then that way, this will always be part of it. So that way it doesn't get lost in the shuffle, which is nice. So there it is. Now, if I want to undo that, you see how it has group here, group two items. Just click on that, and then you can actually ungroup. So I'm going to just select that and get rid of it. Okay, now, and then it's still named group 2, which is kind of annoying, but it only has one media on it. Now, I saw another comment about lower thirds somewhere. Someone asking about, is this something I could do on lower thirds? Okay, you could. However, I feel like lower thirds is more for identifying who someone is in a clip. So if you're not familiar with lower thirds, the nice thing is you can actually add them on here. So easiest way to do this is they have a lot already. So if you go over here to library and then you go to Camtasia 2020, you just go to lower thirds and they have a ton of examples for you, or you could definitely build your own in here too. And the exact same thing, you find one you like, you can preview it by just double clicking it without needing to, oh, I was too fast. I'm a little impatient, you all. Try it again here. Ha, not responding, come on. There we go. That was weird, it just went away, it just popped up. Try one more time. There we go. Okay, so this will be an example of a lower third, and you can change this font and text in it as you're going. So that's what she meant by lower thirds. I think that might have been Gwen. Was that you, Gwen? I think it was you. Okay. All right, so moving along, we have an issue here because our audio is shorter than our video clip. So one thing that I thought of as I was building this, I was like, well, how about we change kind of the perspective here? Because we have this, and then we want to go back over to the person who, again, can't unfortunately enjoy this conversation or participate in it because they aren't able to understand it, right? So what I did, and this is a tip that I love to do, is I actually love just slicing videos. I know that sounds dangerous, but nobody was harmed in the making of this video, okay? So what I do is I just make a tiny little cut right here. Well, let's make it that. Okay, make a tiny little cut. And as you can see, what it did was it made a break in the action here, okay? Which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. So what we're going to do, or actually I'll demonstrate a new feature of Camtasia 2020, is if you go here, we have this lovely little magnet here. The magnet would scoot it back for me. So as you're cutting and editing, if you want something to automatically fill those gaps, you can hit that magnet and it just brings it all together. It's a nice little feature that they do. However, I like to be in control. So I don't use it all the time. But again, as you are like wrapping it up, making sure you don't have any gaps if you're a cutter like I am, which again sounds really, really bad, it's a nice feature to have. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave this gap here. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you all can see it. And then if you remember, the next part of what I did was I made it look like they were in a different perspective, right? So I'm now showing the perspective of the person at home trying to watch this, you know, meeting, okay? So what I'm going to do now is Camtasia has a great feature here to actually build in an effect where it looks like something's on a computer. So if you go over here to Visual Effects, and then you'll select Device Frame, and then the nice way to apply things in Camtasia is you actually just drag it on top of the feature. So we're just going to drag it on down here, and it automatically applied. Now, this reminds me of the room. I don't know why. Maybe it's the pencil cup. Now, again, I don't know. I maybe I like that, maybe I don't, whatever you want to do. So then, oh, actually, you know what? I need to back up because I'm missing a step here. I'm going to undo. So before I do the device frame, if you remember, I changed the color orientation of this to, again, give it kind of a mood. And so I need to do the color adjustment first before I do the frame. So I'm going to go over here, same thing. So I'm on the panel over here, Visual Effects, Color Adjustment. I'm going to drag it on down here, and it's automatically going to adjust that. Now, I think that's a little too bright, so then, you know, you scale it to however you like. Maybe you like it a little bit lighter, a little bit darker, you know, whatever you feel comfortable with, you can mess with it there. Okay. I'm ignoring you, J-Rock and Quetzal. Okay. All right. So let's just say hypothetically I like that. Now let's go ahead and drag that device frame on. Okay. So the reason we did it in that order is it's important to make any edits to the clip before you put the frame on, because if you put a frame on it, it's a little bit harder to edit. Okay. Just take it from me, pro tip. So any edits you want to do to the clip, I recommend putting the frame on last. Now, as you can see, I put the frame on and then it automatically opened up this little panel for me. And then we can actually go between different devices. So I look at that, that's not going to cut it because this is a horizontally oriented video versus a vertical video, which I'm not a huge fan of vertical videos, but I know it's good for like social media sometimes. And then just to show you, this may look familiar. This is the MacBook Pro. So that's the one that I used in the template. Or they have like a Google Pixel. And then there's all kinds more if you want. You can go to download more. I think there's several more free on the TechSmith website. But for this, again, I went with the Pro here, MacBook Pro. Okay. So now I'm going to scoot that back. Okay. So we got this. And then if you remember, well, this is when our little bubbles would come in. But we're missing one other piece. We're missing that other piece of music. So same with this music clip. I just looked for royalty-free music clips. I think that's what I actually Google searched. And with that, I found this kind of suspenseful music. Now, I know with the suspenseful music, it's a little extra, but I just ended up cutting a clip. So let me go ahead, and it's this one right here. I'm going to drag it down. And as you can see, this is a big clip here. So again, You all know I like to be a video cutter, as J-Rock and Quetzal are giving me a hard time about it. So I am actually going to be cutting the audio as well. However, I'm going to show you another pro tip here, okay? So before I do this, I can't tell you how many times I've done this. Let's say I'm just not paying any attention at all, and I'm going here. I'm like, okay, I want to cut it right here. So I have it highlighted, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the delete key on my keyboard. Tartar sauce. Look what it did. Look what it did. It deleted my video too. Oh, it's horrible. So don't want that to happen. So one thing that I do, I'm going to go up here and go to my undo, is I like actually locking things down. So going back here to the tracks, you have a couple options here. You have this evil eyeball that I don't like, that will disable it, that you will kind of get it out of the way. Or I like using kind of lock, because that way it's not going to be used in the cutting, okay? So with that, we're going to go ahead and try to cut again. And look, it didn't mess with my video at all, which is nice. So I'm trying to remember exactly where it was in the clip. And again, this is for your ears and delight. You can set this however you want to set it. So I think I picked, maybe when it was really kind of, again, nerve-wracking, but I'm just going to play real quick and just make a cut real fast, okay? So hang tight 1 second. Yeah, I like that first little lick there about, getting all nervous here. But again, if this music, it does not cut the mustard for you, feel free to get another clip in there. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and delete this first little bit out. All right, it is gone. And then I'm gonna go ahead and scoot this on over here. And then I'm gonna show you some audio stuff here in just a moment. Alright. Yeah, they look all happy in their meeting, talking. I mean, who is that happy in a Teams or Zoom meeting nowadays? Not me. Alright. So I'm going to cut it where the video ends. So just to make it a little bit easier for me, I'm changing this plus minus here as, again, to magnify or zoom in the timeline. So I'm going to go ahead and just make it a little bit smaller so it's easier for me to manage. And then it stopped right there. So I'm going to go ahead and take our little red all the way down. And then I get delight in cutting here. I'm going to delete. Peace out, Cub Scout. All right, so it is gone. Going back here to the timeline. Going back over here where I was. And I accidentally made another track. Don't do that. All right. And so here's what I got, but I just want to also think about like what this sounds like. So what about if we did something like a crescendo here, where it starts off kind of really low and then it gets like louder toward the end with the Charlie Brown. Luckily, we can do that, and Camtasia makes it pretty easy. So if we go over here to audio effects, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do like a fade in, meaning, and it automatically cuts it. So you can mess with this if that's a little bit too much for you. And then what you can do is as it's going, you can make it kind of come up a little bit here. So let's see what that sounds like. I mean, they are way too happy in a meeting. I'm just going to leave that there. Okay. So I'm also going to do something similar in this clip, but I want it to like fade out because I don't want to scare everybody out of this video immediately. Again, maybe I'm just a little too sensitive, but I'm getting like old school Unsolved Mystery update music vibes from it. But I'm going to go ahead and kind of do the same thing. I want to fade into, so it like starts off like kind of, yeah. I promise I have friends, ladies and gentlemen, and these are my friends that like giving me a hard time, but I'm better for it. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm actually pretty happy with that. That's a little bit different than the template, obviously, that I built for you all. But I'm thinking back to what Quetzal was saying about the captions. So to do something just a little bit different and rebuild, tell you what, I'll show you how I did the bubble just to show you what that looks like, but then I'll also show you captions as well. So let's see here. TV is asking, are you having to select a range before you apply the audio effect? Good question. So let me show you that real fast. So you can do it like typically, like I said, with everything, it automatically defaults to the full clip TV. So see how it's got that kind of lime green Nickelodeon banner around it? If you do that, it's going to be for the full clip. However, do you see that we have the little cue points here? We can change that throughout. So you go back here to effect. I'm going to uncompress here. And then let me see how you can move those little cue points around. You can really geek out here if you're like an audio person and you're just like, yeah, I need it this way. You can really just go, 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 go. All right. Check in Crowdcast too. You all are being very quiet over there, so feel free to. I have another computer open for Crowdcast, so please feel free to talk, talk, talk. Okay. All right. So let me go up here. I'm going to show you all the bubbles. So where we did the call out for the reference for Canva, giving them credit, we're going to go back up here to annotations. And again, they already have it built in. Super easy, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just start here. So I want this to come up pretty quickly because this is a pretty big difference, right? So we have the wah, 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 and then it goes to like black and white, and then we got this crazy music. So the person that's going to be experiencing this is going to be like, what is going on? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring this over here. And so this is what we got, thought bubble. But again, you can change the shape. There's all kinds of stuff you can do on here if you want. So, and the other thing too is if you want to bring in your own image here, you can. So if you had like an image you wanted to type on, you could totally bring that in as well. So I'm just going to roll with what they got. And you can make it like a gradient or whatever. Again, you can get as fancy as you want. I like that they have this little eyedropper here. So if I wanted to get this color, I could. Or if I wanted to get, I don't know, this color, just picking stuff here, just show you all. Can do that. So you can, I mean, you can be super creative here, however you want to do it. So I'm just going to keep this for now. And now I don't remember what I put for the text. Something like, I think I wish I could participate in this meeting or something like that. I think that's one put. In this work meeting, something. Okay. And so then I have these little bubbles that are automatically part of this image. I'm just going to drag them kind of off here. Again, just to give the cue that there is somebody that is, thinking, sitting in front of it without explicitly having like a silhouette or another picture of someone in the scene. Okay, so that's kind of my little creative rendition. Now, as you see, it is automatically put on here for a certain amount of time. You can make this as long or short as you want just by holding down, and I got my mouse button down my left side and I'm just sliding back and forth. So I'm going to just keep it on right here. Now we want to spice this up a little bit, be a little bit spicy. Oh, thank you, Karthik. Karthik for the win here. Again, just to be, let's see, I'd love to participate in this work meeting. Okay, not my best script writing, FYI, but it works. Okay, so we're going to make this a little bit more spicy, and we are going to give this a little bit of a behavior. And so with Camtasia, you give something a behavior, you have to let it know what you want to do when it comes in, when it's on the screen, and when it exits. So let's say, for example, we want this pop up. we're going to go ahead, just like with everything, you all, anytime you want to change anything in Camtasia, you drag it down to the timeline to the image. So went ahead and did that. And see, it automatically pops up over here. So we have a ton of options here. I'm just going to pick some stuff and not really give it a lot of thought and watch it be a hot mess. But again, just to show you some of the different stuff that it can do. And then we're going to have it, I don't know, slide out. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what that looks like. That wasn't terrible. I mean, that could be worse. Tad is asking about Camtasia on Mac, operate as well as on PC. Yes, I actually have it on both. So I have a Mac and a PC. This live stream is actually today going to be on PC. And I was actually planning, Tad, for that exact reason. Next Saturday, I'm going to stream for my Mac, just to, again, show different perspectives. But yeah, I have it on both, and it looks pretty good. Awesome question. All right. And so I have that bubble. I'm going to go ahead and do a caption just to show you all what that looks like. So you go to captions, and we're going to add it in. And so what that does is it lays another track down just for captions, okay? And so for this caption, I'm trying to think if there is another, if I can remember what else I said here. So Karthik, I don't know if you want to throw me another bone on what I said for this, but I'm just going to say, I missing my accommodations. Hey Joe, Joey's here. Let's see, I'm getting, I don't know. I doubt anyone would say something like that, but I'm just doing it for giggles here. Okay, yes, good call out. Oh, Karthik, thank you. He's got my back here. We'll go ahead and pop that out. Whoops. Hey. Karthik went away. There we go. Nope. Every time I try to click on Karthik, I get another. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and fix this real quick. Thank you, Karthik. It's a long caption. It's a long caption. Jane, thank you for helping. And someone else, I think, helped on the more for the trial. Thank you. And as you all can see, I can't type worth a hoot, but there's spell check. There used to not be spell check here, so there's spell check now. So that is also another improvement in the new Camtasia. Now, one other thing, and let me drop Karthik's comment here so you all can see. I want to click back on here. This is another thing that I love checking. You have this automatic ADA here. So let's say I wanted to just, do something, I don't know, make it look really evil. See this? It tells you that that is not ADA compliant, which is nice. So it will tell you as you're doing these, and it automatically does a little check for you. So that's a very nice upgrade in the new Camtasia. So I just wanted to show that as well. And then and then if you still don't know what's going wrong, you can click on it and then it makes it compliant for you. Really nice tool. Really nice tool. So just want to call that out. Okay. All right. Looking at the time, I want to be cognizant of the time. We're actually almost right at time. So today actually did fly by. So thank you all so much. Any last questions? Again, I just wanted to give everybody just a baseline. I wanted to show you how I built what I shared. Feel free to play with the assets that I put in the Dropbox that you are more than welcome to go at. Any other kind of last questions before we wrap up today? Or any kind of things that you're like, wow, I didn't know that, and I wish, thanks for sharing. Anything like that? All right, Sarah over on Crowdcast is saying you can split the captions if they are too long. Yes, you can. And that is also kind of a pain to sync as well. But you can, you're right. All right. I'm just gonna show a couple different little things. Let's see here. So Amanda says, thanks for the ADA compliance feature. I love it. I just think it's neato. Neato. Um, let's see here. All right, so Kessel's asking about it hitting a screen reader, right? I think that it should. However, videos are just kind of weird anyway. I know a lot of times if I am publishing a video, I think it's really important to have that transcript to go along with it just in case. And there is also a difference in having the captions be part of the player because they do have like a smart player here in Camtasia versus burning them in. It's a little bit different. We had kind of a situation at in my office where we had something that was burned in and then we needed to go back and edit and it was kind of a nightmare to edit. So pro tip, don't burn in and not keep kind of a version before that. But tell you what, let me keep looking into that because I don't want to tell you wrong, Quetzal, and I think it's a really good question. So I'll keep I'll keep looking and trying. Now, I got another question down here I just saw about, bringing in captions. So I actually made a video here on the YouTube channel about using otter.ai to bring in an SRT file and it automatically brings the captions into Camtasia. I recommend checking that out as well because that is another way that I bring in captions pretty quickly. And I want to make sure that, if it's easy and it's doing the right thing, I'm all for it. And I really, really like doing otter.ai. Um, Lisa says that it is not showing that feature for the compliance. Interesting. Are you in the 2020 trial? Maybe that might be the issue. All right. Anyway, thank you all. Spend some time this week playing and building. We are going to basically just dive into building next time. And feel free to catch the replay of this if you missed any of it or want to rewatch other little pieces of it. And feel also free to give me feedback. So praise or haze, let me know. So I really appreciate your all's time. And yeah, so we'll be back here next Saturday. And thank you for everything. And just let me know. Feel free to connect with me anyway, just to let me know if there's anything else I can do for you in the meantime. And again, thank you, TechSmith, for sponsoring this and keeping it free. I will not ask anyone for their credit card number for my time for this. Okay. There's a lot of people out there charging a lot of money. That's on them. But I have a full-time job, keeps me busy. I do this because I believe in trying to help as many people as I can on the side. So just saying, please don't say that I'm other people that I'm not. I've been called different names this past week and I'm not those people. I'm Kara North. So just keeping that real. All right. So thanks so much. Have a good rest of your weekend. Hope 2021 has been great for you. And thanks. Have a good one. All right. Bye.